Okay, good evening everyone. I'm not Sharon, as you might have guessed. My name's Andrew Crawford, and it's my great privilege on behalf of Sharon, who's battling traffic, to warmly welcome you here tonight. We were just taking some candid shots of the reason why we're here is with the support of CPR Australia. Sharon is, as I say, the convener of this group here tonight. She's supported by Coco, who is based here in Wairau, and we're very appreciative of yourself, Coco, and Luke Austin, for giving us this premise. So thank you very much for making it available. A couple of other people, we couldn't have had this group and made it available to you all free of charge without the support of Hayes, and we've really been waiting all year to hear tonight's presentation, some more than others. So we've really got, I know a lot of you have been asking me about what's happening in the market out there. So tonight's discussion group is really going to be of high interest to you all about what's happening out there. The Australian Computer Society, I'd like to acknowledge one of our directors that's here in the room, Dr. Sajendra over there at UTS. Thank you very much for supporting the group as well. And Peter McGee, I feel like I should always acknowledge you. You're always supporting all of the thing that we're doing. And Hendrik over there, also fellow coordinator with the Australasian Reporting Awards, which is symbolic of best practice. We know that there's another 15, 20 people that registered for tonight, and so please excuse us. We'll be escorting up a few people that are caught up on train delays coming from all over. This is the final event for this year. And if I can just page through, our treasurer of the group is Dilly, who's just downstairs. So what the order of the night is that by the time we do the keynote, we'll then be doing the Lucky Door Prize. So each of you, has everyone received their Lucky Door Prize ticket number on their way in? Nathan, I know you yeah. All right, very good. Number 17. Yeah. So it's always a great prize. So thank you very, very much for the support there. I wanted to just take a brief opportunity, if I could, just ahead of tonight, to just tell you also, as we do, there's a couple of events that might be of interest to you all. As Peter might be able to know, as well as a couple of others that are also regular attendances at the risk discussion group. Next week, just a little bit of an introduction to the organisation that you represent, which is a fantastic organisation exposed to through ANZ, just a little while ago through a mutual friend, Natalie, just to let people know the sort of people that we're attracting into this discussion forum.
Yeah, sure. So, hi, my name's Nathan. I come from an organisation called Fair Game. So Fair Game, we recycle sports equipment, and then we use sports equipment to teach. So Fair Game, we recycle sports equipment, and then we use sports equipment to teach health and fitness to underserviced communities, Indigenous, migrant, non-English speaking communities, anyone that really needs support within the health. I'm down to get a mic. Any really need support and assistance within the health, sport, education area. I was introduced to come to tonight just to kind of get a gauge of the room as well, because we've been setting up a city hub here for about 3 to 4 years, and there's a lot of stakeholders in the room that might like to support an organisation like ours that are interested in health and sport and fitness. See, possibly in the future, if we could acquire some people that like to help out on like a board chair type level, but also but the two possibly about how setting organisations such as Fair Game, a lot of leadership, recruitment, soft skills within us as being able to establish ourselves in our capacity. So a possible topic in the future, and I wanted to make sure I got to see, I don't want to tell you guys how to suck eggs, I wanted just to see, what you guys as well, so that's why I'm tonight.
Thank you, Nathan. Now there are a couple of other people that are here for the first time. Can I just ask you to raise your hands one more time? And can I just ask, get your hand up, are you working in the not-for-profit sector? So, or serving on a board? Yes? Do you want to call out which one it is?
I work for an early childhood organisation.
Early childhood?
Yeah.
Excellent, okay. Yeah, and others? Yeah?
Yes, family and community.
DFAC? Is it? DFAC?
Facts.
Oh, facts. Yes. In Chatswood or Ashfield? You've travelled. Okay. Good.
I work in Sydney trains.
Thank you for getting me here tonight.
That's all.
I am blaming, for any delays, I'm blaming at Durban. Yes. So look, the reason why we, and as I was saying to Linda and Coco before, when we kicked off, Nathan, this group, and we had Streetwork, which is a local organisation here, about 38 years old, and like many not-for-profits that are set up, registered charities, they go through tough times, lean times. The global financial crisis hit that organisation before a couple of us from the nation stepped in to turn it around. A lot of them were, that organisation is now turned around, a couple $1 million worth of investment from Huawei, PwC and other organisations. So, and you can grow something. So that's another success story, and I wish the work that you're doing over in Western Australia, communities, is phenomenal. I know that your supporter base, and particularly some of the medicine schools that I'm working with, really interested in how they can partner with you. A small example of how we can make a difference. So I'm advising a large bank at the moment that's going through a divestment, and we were just talking one day in a coffee shop, and we said, look, how about we get all of the teams to bring in their squash racket. We won't do a photo thanks just yet. Your presentation is up here. Is the presentation loaded here, Kate? Oh, great. Okay.
Towards the end, a lot of this information presented tonight is more so holistically. It's not really tailored to the government or the not-for-profit sectors, but the area that I recruit within that public sector, which encompasses not-for-profits and New South Wales state government. So I've been with Hayes for 7.5 years. I've always recruited within that industry. So a lot of it's just salary expectations and sort of comparisons to the commercial markets. So any queries or questions you may have on that towards the end, please feel free to ask. So just on our salary guide presentation, Hayes has been producing the salary guide now in New Zealand and Australia for over 41 years. It delivers a huge range of insights, and while we can't cover all the findings that we've collated in time today, we do have copies of our salary guide available, so if you do need copies of those, please do let me know. I will be talking about several different industries, as I mentioned within the presentation, and yes, we'll hopefully touch on the not-for-profit and government piece towards the end. So what were our 2018-2019 category survey, more than 3,000 organisations representing over 2.3 million employees for their views on salary, policy, hiring and tenure trends. These employers hold positive business activity and economic performance expectations, while more plan to increase salaries this year compared to last. Increases will fall, so I'm going to look at that more closely coming up. Recruitment trends. First, I'd like to set the scene and share some of the top level trends we've uncovered from this year's research. Business activities increased in 74% of organisations over the past year, with 77% of those expecting to increase over the next 12 months. Organisations within the mining, resources, energy, oil and gas industries are the most optimistic, with 85% of those expecting increased business activity. That's followed then by IT and telecommunications industry, and the transport and distribution at 83%, and financial services and professional services both at 81%. Furthermore, 40% of the economy, 40% said the economy will strengthen in the coming 6 to 12 months, and that's up from 36% last year. Job growth is set to continue. 2017 was a phenomenal year for jobs growth in Australia. For 2018 so far, and continued labour market strength. Hiring intensities for the year ahead suggest further employment gains too. Over the coming year, 47% of employers again expect permanent staff levels to increase. Looking at departments, 63% of employers expect to increase permanent staff in their strategy and consulting departments, followed by general management at 57%, IT at 53%, project management at 51%, HR and operational management and sales all at 50%. Permanent headcounts are also tipped to rise to 44%. Departments, 43% of engineering departments, and 40% of distribution. 84% of employers who are expecting staff levels to increase will add full-time staff, and this is significantly higher than last year at 82%. Temporary contract staff are regular team members. The trend of employing temporary and contract staff on a regular basis, ongoing basis, continues with 24% of employers now doing so, and that's up from 23% the previous year. 42% employed for special projects, and in the next 12 months, 22% of employers expect to increase their use of temporary and contract staff. This is something I'm invested in the government space. This is my area of giving me income, so thankfully it's the case. And this exceeds the 11% who anticipate decreasing in this area. Unsurprisingly, expectations for temporary and contract staff increases are highest in project management departments, followed by IT and strategy and consulting. Temporary and contract staff numbers will also rise in marketing, engineering, HR, distribution, sales and procurement, as well as accounting and finance, with the lowest level of growth at about 12%. So, with business activity and confidence high, and employers are adding to their teams, it's surprising that of the 46% of people who said they plan to look for a new job this year, 53% cited a lack of promotional opportunities as the main reason. This suggests that employers will be doing more to develop their existing talent, particularly since the lack of new challenges and poor training and development came in as third and fourth highest factor, spurring them to look at other jobs elsewhere. In second place was uncompetitive salary. Other factors of note were poor work-life balance and poor benefit packages. Already staff turnover has increased in 32% of organisations. This is understandable since just 40% of the professionals we spoke to are very satisfied or extremely satisfied with their current jobs. Meanwhile, only 41 and 54% are very satisfied or extremely satisfied with their current employer and current direct manager, respectively. Counter offers rarely work. When employees do resign, 2% of employers counter offer staff, with a further 39% sometimes doing so. Those counter offers, on average 45% left anyway. 3% stayed less than 3 months, and 22% stayed between 3 and 12 months, and 30% were retained longer than 12 months. Over time, increasing our survey also found that more employees are working more overtime. 34% of organisations increased overtime in the past year. This is up from 32% 1 year prior. Of those organisations that increased overtime, 81% did so up to 25%, while a further 50%. 58% of the organisations, this overtime was unpaid. So, the impact of skills shortages. Skill shortages are undoubtedly a factor behind rising overtime. Indeed, 67% of employers say skill shortages are likely to impact the effective operation of their business or departments in significant or minor way. Employers say mid-management professionals are more difficult to recruit than those at the entry or senior level, particularly those with technical, operational, accountancy, and finance backgrounds. As for skills that had the highest impact on the effectiveness of an organisation or department, staff management, trade-specific, business development, digital, software and hardware, vocational language, and cyber and data security were all named by employers. In skill-short areas, 57% of employers would consider employing or sponsoring a qualified overseas candidate. Salary trends. Our 2018-2019 survey data shows more employers are willing to offer salary increases this year, but the values of those increases has fallen. This is a glaring impediment for the widespread wage growth, as it odds with the expectation of professionals, which I'll share in a minute. So, more salary increases but a drop in value. When the last reviewed salaries, 14% of employers gave no increases. When the next review, a smaller 11% intended to give no increases. Instead, 66% intended to increase salaries by up to 3%, which was up 6% from those that did so last year. But while 8% increased salaries by 6% or more in their last review, just 6% plan to do so this year. The number of employees anticipating increasing salaries remains between 3 to 6% and remains unchanged at 18%. Advertising and media tops the list of the most generous industries, with 13% of employees intending to award salary increases of 6% or more. This is followed by professional services, construction, property and engineering, IT and telco, hospitality, travel and entertainment, financial services, mining resources, energy, oil and gas. So what do employees expect to receive? So we spoke to over 3,000 professionals for their perspective on salary and recruitment trends. Given the continued labour market strength, it's no wonder that these professionals believe that it's ripe for wage growth. As a group, they have higher expectations for a salary increase than they did this time last year. This year, 17% expected to receive an increase of 6% or more, which is up from 14% last year. Further, 18% expected an increase between 3 to 6%, which is up 4%. At the other end of the scale, the number of pessimists has fallen. This year, 25% do not expect any increase, which is down 25 from 27% the previous year. Meanwhile, 39% expect to receive an increase at the lower end of the scale, less than 3%, down from 42%. When asked what's most important to their career in the year ahead, a massive 67% said pay rise. The priority placed on a pay rise is unsurprising considering the city and salary increases of recent years. It also explains why professionals are increasingly willing to ask for a pay rise if one isn't offered. In the past year, 18% of professionals said they successfully asked for a pay rise, which was up 17% from the previous year. Another 16% were asked but declined, up 1%. And in addition, 48% envisaged asking for a pay rise in the next review. So this is further evidence of an increasing optimism and confidence in professionals today. So why are salary increases so small? I hear you ask. Late last year, the then Treasurer Scott Morrison declared record low wage growth was the biggest challenge facing the Australian economy. Our findings show that the run of low salary increases will continue in the year ahead, which begs the question, why are the increases so small? To start with, it's not to do with staffing demands. The time-honoured supply and demand principle has failed to impact salaries in all but a few instances. Rising business activity is also failing to impact salaries. As we saw earlier, business activity has increased for 74% of employers in the last year, and 77% expected to increase further in the next 12 months. Even the willingness of employees to upskill to become more productive or proficient experts in their relative fields is failing to impact salary growth. One important factor impairing restrained salary growth would be the technological advances which are automating some job tasks and overturning the traditional idea of workforce that consists solely of people. Another is no doubt the increase in temporary and contracting roles. Employers are adding flexibility to their headcounts and employing highly skilled professionals as and when they need them. So many employers also remain to be very, very cost conscious following the tight budget of recent years. I don't claim to know all the answers as to why salary increases haven't happened, but as a recruitment expert, I will tell you that restrained salary growth does test the loyalty of employees, particularly if strong learning and development and career opportunities also aren't available. So on to commonly offered benefits. The most common benefits employers say they offer are flexible work practices, which is 84%, ongoing learning and development, and career progression opportunities. Employers are certainly heading in the right direction by offering these benefits, because when they look for a new job, employees have flexible work practices, career progression, and ongoing learning and development are important factors to them. These rank ahead more than your 20 days annual leave, health and wellness programs, financial support for study, and payment for an employee in the places of work. Looking specifically at flexible working practices, employers most commonly offered flexible working hours, compressed working weeks, part-time employment, such as working from home or alternative locations. Less common are flexible leave options such as purchase leave, job sharing, career breaks, and phased retirement. 67% of organisations surveyed offer flexible salary packaging, the most common being offering more superannuation, parking on site, private health insurance, and bonuses. So flexibility is standard, making its absence a recruiting limitation. Flexibility is now standard across all organisations, and even I see with Hayes, we have changed since I joined Hayes 7.5 years ago to what it is now, and the flexibility that we have is a different business completely. As we've seen, flexible work practices is the number one benefit professionals want and receive. However, just 40% are very satisfied or extremely satisfied with their current level of work-life balance. If your organisation doesn't offer flexible working options, it's in the minority, and this could have an obvious impact on attraction and retention of staff. You get back in the game to compete for the top talent by reviewing and implementing policies in this area, such as staggered start times and finishes. Diversity. We asked employers if their organisation has a diversity policy for hiring new staff. 56% said there was a policy in place, which is up from 53% the following year, so there's been a big push on that across a lot of organisations. 10% were unsure. The final 34% said there was no diversity policy in place for hiring new staff at their organisation. Those organisations with a diversity plan in place, 72% believe that people generally adhere to it, which is up from 69% the previous year. So, what's driving job growth and skill shortages? I'll mention here some of the key industries that are driving the growth. A lot of these industries don't really fall into the remit of people here, so not bore you with all of that. But as we have the computer society here, the first one is being IT. So 53% of employers expect to increase permanent headcount in their IT departments, while 33% will increase the use of IT contractors. Several trends are behind this. Digital transformations disrupting organizations, and customers now want constant on-demand access to products and services. Add the increased awareness of the need for cybersecurity strategies, the growth in the number of organizations that are transferring their data to the cloud, and skilled IT professionals will remain without. This is a massive area for IT. An increasing desire to collect, analyze, and use data is also fueling staffing demands. For example, traditional IT infrastructure roles are being replaced with data-driven jobs that incorporate the automation of systems. This trend will increase in the year ahead, and more infrastructure professionals upskill in automation and DevOps. Meanwhile, as organizations adapt to new technologies and business processes, the demand for an experienced change manager will remain high. The continued adoption of agile project management methodologies across the public and private sectors will fuel staffing demand too. All in all, the top talent will remain high in demand in Australia's competitive IT job market. Services sector. Australian services sector is the largest in Australia. It's reassuring that the Australian Industry Group Performance of Services Indicator, PSI, which measures changes in activity levels across the services sector, currently sits at 55.2. The PSI measures change to activity levels across the sector, and if it sits above 50, it's good news because it shows activity levels are improving. In further positive news, an activity level has been above 50 points every month since March 2017. Across the sector, highly skilled professionals are in demand, particularly in financial services, professional services, healthcare, and education. Construction and engineering. This will continue to be one of the strongest economic drivers in 2018 and 2019. In New South Wales alone, construction and engineering enjoyed another busy year, with the city's infrastructure market also picking up. Skilled supervisors, project engineers, estimators with experience in tunnelling, I think we all know why. Roads and rail projects will remain in demand. Contract administrators, project engineers, and site managers with experience in large health, institutional, and commercial projects are also sought. Factors important to the employer's brand. Finally, as we've seen today, many of the skills that have been in short supply for 70 years now are increasingly in even greater demand. Employers are acknowledging this by doing what they can to ensure relevant skills are retained in the long run. More often, we are seeing cultural fit as the key attribute sought by employees with a long-term vision. So I think he and I can attest to this. This is probably the biggest thing for people working on any organization. Cultural fit is key. In our survey of employers, 80% said that an individual's fit with the company's vision, culture, and values has a major or significant impact on their employer's brand and in turn their ability to attract talent. This was only behind work-life balance of 86% and salary and benefits on 81%. Also considered important for 70% the career path and training and development opportunities on offer, which reflects the increasing awareness of both employers and employees have on the need to continuously upskill both in technical and digital skills in order to remain relevant in today's rapidly changing world of work. So, to conclude, thank you very much for having me this evening. Hope you find the presentation useful. Any questions, queries you may have?
I might come in. Yeah, I've got it. Yeah, we'll grab a seat and